Hey YouTube, I'm Lucky, and today I'm bringing you a video where I'm going to break down the new archetype of machine gun that was just recently brought to us with the new season, the Season of Opulence. It's a 360 RPM machine gun. You can find this machine gun in either the new raid in the Crown of Sorrow, or you can get one like this one right here, the Fixed Odds, in the Menagerie. So if you want one, you can farm one in the Menagerie, or you can let RNG decide whether or not you can find a Bane of Sorrow. Now I've tried both of these extensively in PvP, and I'm going to make this video almost entirely about PvP focus because PvE is really dominated by the grenade launchers, the Swarm of the Raven, the Wendigo, and any of the exotic raid power weapons are all almost completely better than any of these new machine guns in PvE. But in PvP, these are actually pretty good. It can be a little tricky to use. Obviously, at times and depending upon the distance, you can get melted by shotguns, or right now Lord of Wolves or The Last Word can 3-tap you. It can be a little bit frustrating using these machine guns, but one thing that's important to keep in mind with these is that they have extremely amazing range in PvP. No matter what map you're playing on, you're going to do almost full damage no matter what the distance is. So if you can in any way keep your distance, you're going to find these things to actually be extremely powerful. I genuinely like using them. And I will clarify a little bit on that I genuinely like using the Bane of Sorrow in Crucible, but I don't like using the Fixed Odds. I've tried it a few times, and you've probably seen me critique it in my past videos. I've tried so hard to use this Fixed Odds, and I don't understand why it's so much worse than the Bane of Sorrow. I've compared its stats on light.gg. I have a few different roles, and I've tried them all out. But no matter what I do, I can't seem to get the Fixed Odds to be as good or be as consistent as the Bane of Sorrow. I also really like the Bane of Sorrow sight. It's got a very clean sight, and so I genuinely like the Bane of Sorrow a lot for PvP, but I don't like the Fixed Odds, unfortunately. So if you are trying to use one for PvP, I would recommend not using Fixed Odds, or maybe you can try it out yourself and maybe you'll have a different outcome. But I have used it a ton, or tried to at least, and have not enjoyed my experience. So but the Bane of Sorrow is the raid drop LMG. It's a 360 RPM, and what it does is it hits for 48 to the head, and so it's essentially a 4-tap to kill someone. And along with that, we can sort of decipher what we would call the God roll. And this roll right here is the one I've been using the most out of all the other ones I've gotten. And this Outlaw Dragonfly is an interesting one for PvE. But this one for PvP, the tap the trigger mulligan, is amazing. And this is the perfect roll from light.gg. If you pull up all the different possible rolls, this one is the absolute best one in my opinion. The reason being is that Tap the Trigger is an awesome perk that grants a short period of increased stability and accuracy on an initial trigger pull, which is exactly the way you're trying to use the weapon. You're trying to just essentially just land 4 quick bullets. And once you land those 4 quick bullets, you're going to go on to recover your health first before you challenge anyone. And then after you've recovered your health, you're going to go on to the next encounter. And you're going to constantly get shot when you're using these machine guns because they have a slower time to kill than, like, for example, a rocket or a sniper or any sort of instant weapon. But so you're going to want to recover your health, and then the next person you shoot is you're going to have tap the trigger, and it's going to have amazing stability. Arrowhead break is also really important. It has excellent recoil, almost perfectly vertical recoil, and so arrowhead break is perfect for this. Light mag is fine. Anything here is not really that big a deal. And Mulligan's kind of a nice perk. You only get your ammo back like maybe 30% of the time, but if you do miss a few shots or whatever, it can be nice to get some bullets back because, when you pick up the power ammo in Crucible, you only get a limited amount. So tap the trigger being essentially the god tier perk that I like on it. But honestly, I've used the knockoff rolls. For example, I'll show you right here. I've got Genesis and Underdog. I've got Tap the Trigger Underdog. I've got Feeding Frenzy Kill Clip, and then the Outlaw Dragonfly. I've used all of them, and they're all just really good. The weapon just hits different. There's that meme going around, like, it hits different. This weapon really does just hit different. It hits really nice and clean. If you keep your distance, you use this weapon in Crucible, I think you'll really enjoy it. Let me know what rolls you're using. I'll go through light.gg here, and I'll show all the different perk options that you have. Mulligan I see as being the most beneficial perk, and the reason why is because Rampage is not going to increase the time to kill. It hits 48 to the head. Rampage is not going to stack high enough to increase that time to kill. Or at least not in a very practical manner. Perhaps Rampage ×3 could do that, but it's not really that practical. Kill Clip is not going to be an option in Crucible because you're going to pick up the power ammo, and you're not going to have the option to reload because the ammo goes directly into the magazine. So really, that's not a very feasible option. You don't need to get a bunch of grenade energy from these kills and stuff. So there are a few other viable perks here. Maybe Eye of the Storm could be cool. I always do like Snapshot for excellent handling, but Tap the Trigger is a really nice perk and definitely the go-to perk when I'm using this weapon. And if we go over to fixed odds, it has a few different perks here as well. They're nice. You can get tap the trigger. It's really cool that it gets surrounded, and this has some PvE potential if you were to put on surrounded spec and get the surrounded perk. This could be really nasty. I could definitely see some viability to that surrounded spec and then field prep for PvE. But overall, I really just don't like the fixed odds. Let me know what you guys think, though. Let me know if you guys are trying these out in Crucible. Obviously, it's the Lord of Wolves meta right now, so you're going to see a ton of Lord of Wolves flying around. But if you do pick up a machine gun, keep your distance. You can definitely shut down some people aping with Lord of Wolves. So let me know what you're thinking of the new 360 RPM machine guns, which rolls you've got, and that's a wrap. Leave a like on this video, subscribe for more, and comment down below your thoughts, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good night.